once I get my hands on that mean machine, it's all over but the shout. It's on like Donkey Kong. I'm gonna push it to the limit to win it. I'm all about to rattle and moan. Let's get it on. Wanna finish fast, wanna be a blur, wanna kiss the girls, wanna feel the curve, wanna hear that sound when I put my foot down on the gas. Gonna spark some pain, gonna make my move, gonna push this thing till I run off you. I don't know if I'll finish first or last, gonna finish fast.
My name is Randy Hill, and I'm an American entrepreneur.
I realized ever since I was a little boy, I've loved cars. Doesn't matter if it's a $500 car or a $50,000 car. I've just always been fascinated with transportation.
A friend of mine recently took me to a race, a NASCAR race.
It was the first time I ever came to a race, and I knew nothing. I didn't know about the cars. I didn't know about I never had experienced this.
I had never been before. It was the most thrilling and exciting thing I'd ever seen. It was almost a feeling that just swept me off my feet. I was amazed, and I was so surprised how easy the access was to not only the equipment, but the facility, to being there right up front to experience the event.
Did you see Richard Petty back there?
I did get to see. I went nuts over it, which is kind of fitting considering that's how I made my money. Nuts. Peanuts. My invention, the Advanced Trailer, now drives over 1/2 of the nation's peanut crop. Being an entrepreneur has always fueled me, but nothing hit me like NASCAR.
You got it, That is ultra.
I really decided that it was something that I wanted to do.
I made a few calls and got a meeting with Eddie Gossage at Texas Motor Speedway.
Hi, Eddie. This is Randy Hill in Abilene. How are you today? What I'm doing is I'm interested in starting a NASCAR team. Yeah, and well, none. I don't have any experience at all. No. So Eddie suggested to me that I go talk to the executives at NASCAR and visit with them about my idea and about wanting to start a NASCAR team. Right when I walked in the door, Jim Cassidy handed me a team owner application, and they were very encouraging and were very welcoming into the sport. And at that time, they encouraged me to go try to meet as many team owners and drivers as possible.
I had the pleasure of meeting Ken Reagan through some friends of mine in Georgia. He quickly took me under his wing.
And I felt like, well, you know, Randy, if you're really serious about wanting to have a race team and being involved, there's people I know that you need to know.
One of the first things he did was introduce me to a driver, a kid, a young man named Casey Roderick.
You run him in 3 or 4 truck races in the truck series down there. I bet you'll win your race. He just that good.
I've been racing for a long time, since I was 5 years old. So ever since I was old enough to watch TV, that's where I wanted to be. You know, someone out here driving a race car, just trying to find that right person to try to help me along. You know.
I had met my driver. Now it was time to race. We started with a very aggressive schedule, 4 races in 5 weeks. The first 3 in ARCA, the 4th one directly into NASCAR Nationwide. I told you, I moved fast. Although we had some setbacks, I was determined to push forward. We wrecked 3 cars in 14 days. Wrecks and more wrecks, which means checks and more checks.
3 laps to go when Casey had his accident here just now, and it was so shocking to me. And I looked at Jeff Spraker and I said, "Did he hit the wall?" I don't think it did any frame damage, but I'd be willing to bet that wreck right there probably cost $12,000 to $16,000 to fix. As of today at 2 o'clock, 1.2. It's like being on the high It's being on the top of the mountain, and then all of a sudden you just fall off the other side of the mountain.
Finish fast.
My first lap around Charlotte Motor Speedway, I was 7 years old. The Richard Petty driving experience, cars were out there on the track, and I told my dad, I said, I want to go there and do that. So I think the top speed they let us get up to was like 175, but 7 years old going 175 miles an hour is fast. So just memories like that, you know, being able to do it tomorrow and Friday, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait.
In the qualifying, we went out on the track and our anticipation was high. The car looked fantastic, you know. Everything was great, and Casey immediately, when he went out and qualified, he went to, I think, number 4 on the board.
Way to go, Casey.
And we watched it, and it dropped, and it dropped, and it dropped. You know, it just kept dropping. And a few minutes later, out of my peripheral vision, I noticed that there was somebody standing in the entryway to the lounge, the hauler, and handed me a piece of paper. The piece of paper said, you want to sell your tires? And I handed it to Jeff. I said, we didn't make it.
You know, we thought we were going to be pretty decent at Charlotte, but, you know, we just missed it. You know, there's going to be times like that where you just miss it. So, but, you know, I've always said that everything happens for a reason, you know. It's just going to make us stronger as we go.
But we are going to go home. We're going to go home to Texas. And we're going to get them in Texas. That's what we're going to do. You know what they say? You get knocked down 7 times, means you got up 8.